Hello, this is Michele Freeny, and today we are going to do a presentation on how to use PowerPoint 2010 for basic presentations. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to first access PowerPoint. Some of you may have it on your desktop as a shortcut, but I do not, as you can see. So we're going to go to our Start icon there, All Programs, Microsoft Office, and selecting the Microsoft PowerPoint 2010. Okay, immediately opens, and because of the Camtasia software, this defaults. So we're just going to go ahead and select File and New blank presentation here. So typically, for purposes when you're doing this at home, you'll automatically default to this particular page, if you will, with a blank slide. The first thing we're going to do is save this presentation. File, Save As, and you go ahead and put it in whatever drive that you would like to. I'm going to put it in my personal drive here. And we'll name this How to Use PowerPoint, and I'll just abbreviate it there, and save. So there it's saved. So as you continue to develop your presentation and slides, you want to be sure to save along the way in case your computer crashes, that nothing is lost. So here we are at our first page, and this is our cover page. As mentioned, this will be titled How to Use PowerPoint 2010 for basic presentations. Under the subtitle for our example today, or our presentation today, we'll go ahead and put my name, the facilitator, and the student. And this is for EDUC 631, and the date it's being submitted. And you want to go ahead and save, as mentioned earlier. So now we want to go ahead and create our second slide. And our second slide is titled Creating Additional Slides. After creating the first slide, which was our cover page, you simply hover over the original slide, which I quickly did, and we'll go over slowly here in a moment. Right-click and select New Slide to add additional slides. So let's try that for practice. First, saving that page that we just created. You're going to hover over the last slide. You're going to right-click and select New Slide, and voila, it appears. Our third slide here will be titled PowerPoint Etiquette. And we'll go over that real quick here. When creating a PowerPoint presentation, you want to keep it simple and not wordy. And as we're doing here, you want to use bullet points to get important points across, or important factors across, or items across. And if you're using pictures, which we will go over later in our presentation, be sure not to overcrowd your slide. And when you're not using bullet points, any written paragraphs should also be short and to the point. And spacing should be balanced, giving a floating appearance on the slide. So as we can see here, this is a perfect example of how it should look. We see the spacing is pretty much perfect. It's appealing to the eye and not overcrowded. And speaking of spacing, let's just go back to our previous slide, and you do so by hovering over that particular slide and clicking, and it will take you there. And you can see here that the spacing is not really balanced, or the centering, if you will. So let's just move it down just a little bit. I think one was enough there. And let's hit File and Save. We haven't done that for the last slide we created, and that will also save the positioning of that paragraph as well. All right, let's create our next slide. Putting into practice what we learned, hovering over the last created slide, right-clicking and selecting New Slide. And the next topic is adding pictures and notes. To add pictures, you want to select the Insert tab, from the toolbar in PowerPoint. And after doing that, you want to actually select your picture from your share drive, or you may select a particular picture from clip art that's available in PowerPoint as well. So you may have selected a personal picture from the internet, or you may have a personal picture that you saved. So you can actually insert that from your drive, or as mentioned, selecting a picture from clip art from the toolbar. That makes it easy as well. So let's go ahead, and for the example's sake, we'll just do the latter and select a picture from using clip art. So following the instructions, we want to select the Insert tab, which is the third from the left, and then the clip art icon here, which is also the third to the left, and click on that. We see here defaulted is a sunset, so we're going to leave that there because sunsets are beautiful. But if you wanted to find something else, you can type that in as well. And then after that's typed in there, you're going to hit Go, and clip art will search for that particular picture if it's in its library. This is a beautiful picture of a sunset, so we'll select that one, and then it appears on the slide that you're working on, and you just want to hover or click on the actual picture and move it, position it to where you want it on your slide. Let's put it on the bottom right corner there, and we just want to minimize it a little bit, so you go to any of the corners and actually drag your mouse until it's the size that you want. I think that's perfect. We'll move it over to the end there. Awesome. So there's our picture on our slide. And as far as notes are concerned, on the bottom of your PowerPoint slide appears Add Notes. And whatever you type in this particular section will not appear when you're doing your actual presentation, nor will it appear if you actually print your presentation. So they're basically notes for you to trigger maybe some discussion points. So for example, this particular slide is adding pictures and notes. So we can put something here on the bottom that we can talk to. Pictures break up the monotony of simply having words on a particular slide. Now, I don't believe you're going to be able to see this, so just please take a note on that. As mentioned, the notes are only for the actual instructor. And then we're going to file and save our work that we've done. Awesome. So our next slide, creating a slide, hovering over our last slide, right-clicking and selecting new slide, is titled Adding Transitions. And this also breaks up the monotony of just having words on a particular slide. It adds animation and it's appealing or more appealing to the eye. So adding transitions, we are going to select Transitions, the Transitions tab rather, from our PowerPoint toolbar. And then we're going to actually select the transitions type per slide or for each slide. And then after selecting each transition per slide, we're going to save, as we've been mentioning along this presentation, after each selection. So let's file and save. And using our PowerPoint etiquette, let's move this down one so it's centered. File and save. And let's add our transitions. So we're going to the Transition tab, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th tab from the left. And then we have a plethora of transition types, if you will, to select from. And you can use your bar here, your drop box, and then all of the transition types appear. So let's select the first slide, and I will, to keep it simple, we'll just go down the line here and select each one. Cut is the first one. So file and save. Then let's go to our next slide and select our fade transition type. File and save. And our third, let's go ahead and select our push transition type. File and save. Our fourth slide, we'll do wipe. File and save. And our fifth slide, let's go to the last one actually, and hit uncover there. Select uncover, file and save. And before we view the transitions that we've selected, real quick, we're going to add, because this is our last actual slide for our presentation, we're going to hit or create rather another new slide, which we know how to do by now, and we're going to put end of presentation. And we're just going to center that. And hit file, save. And we're going to look at our actual presentation. So you want to go to the first slide. And then on the bottom right, you have some little icons here, or glyphs, if you will. You want to hover over them and select the slideshow. And let's see what we have. So this is our first page of the presentation, and we're going to hit enter. And it will progress through the slides we created, creating additional slides using our transitions, of course. Our third slide was PowerPoint etiquette. Fourth was adding pictures and notes with our picture there. And of course, as I mentioned, your notes do not show. Adding transitions, which is our last slide, and the end of presentation, which we have now come to. Thank you for listening, and good luck with your presentation.